Good morning, Anarchy Land. This is Tracy, your, I guess you say, social commentary. Anyway, I want to welcome those of you that are new. I started this channel 5 years ago on April 19th. It is about thinking for ourselves, since that seems to be an act of anarchy nowadays. Asking who, what, when, where, why, and how. When you go through an article or you hear these overdressed talking bobbleheads on TV. On with it. Now, I do tend to be sarcastic, so just keep that in mind if you're new here. I had several articles I'm going to share with you. First thing I'm going to talk about is Abby Martin's latest Empire Files video. If you don't know who she is, go to the link, check her out. I'm telling you, she's incredible. She tells it like it is, and that's why I like her. Over the week, Senator Thomas Cotton of Arkansas came out and called this virus Chinese bioengineered weapon. Was that the end of that serial?
No.
Okay. I got my daughter. If you're new here, I got a daughter that's 17. She is getting ready to quit working at a grocery store because they are not providing the personal protection equipment.
Mainly because of customers, and you have a compromise system.
Yeah.
So.
Well, here's the thing. Kroger is not providing it. Right now, they're having a hard time getting it. Publix in Florida is just flat out refusing to provide it. So, there you go.
And they have the greatest sandwiches ever, too.
Anyway, Thomas Cotton made reference to this being a bioengineered weapon, except he got the wrong country. China does not have a history of bioengineering weapons. They are a little more sophisticated, maybe crude, in that they go direct. They will have leaders of little villages cook books, make it look like there's more food than what there is, which leads to, of course, a famine. You can go to, when you go to her video, go to 12 minutes and 35 seconds and you'll see it. Trump administration has taken out a bounty on a democratically elected President Nicolas Maduro. This is not how a leader of a free country behaves. This is how a dictator behaves. Speaking of dictators, let's go to Cuba. Apparently their doctors have found an effective procedure to treat the COVID-19. And they want to share it with everybody, being the evil communists that they are. These bastards want to give their knowledge away to doctors everywhere. Well, Washington, D.C. cannot have that. These evil bastard communists cannot give their information that they have figured out away. Not without this capitalist country profiting from it first. That's the main thing right there. Now, the U.S. humanitarian government has put a stop to this from happening. Because, hey, they can't have people not being extorted for millions and millions of dollars at the most vulnerable time of their lives. No. Damn it, communists. You evil bastards. You want to give free your information that you figured out. Awful. That's my sarcasm right there. Cuba is actually, the doctors are doing the right thing. They have figured out an effective method of treating COVID-19. And they want to just give it to people. There are countries that have been clamoring to the Cuban government, asking, please help us. And of course, if this happens, it will legitimize this communist country that Washington, D.C. wants to take down because they're evil communists that gives health care, literacy programs. They can create unions to make sure people have fair treatment on the job. They make sure everybody has a house to have, a roof over their head, maybe another roommate too. But that's evil, and they can't. Washington, D.C. cannot have that happening. Now, Iran has found a pneumonia treatment that has had 97% effectiveness. Yes, there is a 3% uneffectiveness. 3% have died. 97% have survived. Do you think your talking boggle has an ABC, NBC, CNN, and all the others are going to tell you that? No. I will, and I will give you the link below to that article. Let's move on to the DOJ, the good old folks at the Department of Justice. They want to take advantage of this crisis to redefine what a threat is. Now, under their definition, I would be a threat because I'm telling you information they don't want you to have. They started doing all this stuff back around December. Well, let's go back to a year ago. We've seen some anti-Semitic laws come into place. Now, I'm not saying go attack people because of religion. I don't give two hoots in hell what your religion is. I don't care. Don't impose it on other people. I don't care. Otherwise, these Zionists, the ideology of Zionism is racist. It is a supremacist ideology. Check out the Learned Elders of Zion and you will learn for yourselves. Now, in December, there was an executive order put into place that basically made criticizing Zionists anti-Semitic. They're not one and the same. To be anti-Zionist, the ideology behind it is not the same as being anti-Semitic. To be anti-Semitic, according to the dictionary's definition of what Semitic people are, they're Arabic, the Middle East. That would include Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, Iran, all of them. However, these Zionists have manipulated the dictionaries to exclude and only have anti-Semitic being against Jewish people. Bullshit. Is what I'm saying to that one. Now, DOJ is going to do this. Whoever survives this bioengineered virus will probably be, those of us who see criticizing Zionists isn't the same as being anti-Semitic. We're the ones that will be targeted. Now, let's move on. Apparently, Trump is bored stealing oil from Syria. And he's kind of bored with Venezuela. He's putting crushing sanctions on Iran. Syrian people, according to Syrian girl Miriam, I can't remember what the hell her last name is, but the Syrian people have figured out how to build ventilators. Now, I have no doubt that a company somewhere gave them specs on how to do it. And they've gone from there. God bless whoever did it. Alright. Over the week, Trump ordered 3M in Minnesota to stop sending masks and medical equipment to Canada or NATO ally. Trudeau, it's hard to take this guy serious. It's threatening retaliation. What the hell are you going to do? Drown us in maple syrup? Am I really supposed to be afraid of that? I mean, really, what are you going to do? Send a bunch of maple leaves and Canadian geese that crap all over our cars? I beat you to that. I don't have a car. I mean, seriously, people, come on. The Canadian government is one of the most pussified governments anywhere. They do not take any real retaliation. They don't do shit. Anyway, after Trump went the week before to China, has one go, double the cash that France was going to pay for equipment, and got that stuff delivered here, which you and I will never see, along with the equipment that was sent here from Russia. Russian military delivered aid to us. Something I've never thought I would say in my 48 years. Keep in mind, I grew up in a time when the Cold War was not as hot as it was back in the 50s and 60s. It was somewhat cool. It was relaxed. And I even remember when Gorbachev and President Reagan signed the treaty to start reducing nuclear arms. I remember that moment very well. You know, a lot of people had a great deal of hope in that time. However, the government now, holy crap. President Reagan must be spinning in his grave to see what they're doing now. Trump has ordered over 100,000 body bags for the impending death of COVID-19. Remember, this virus, if you're new here, this virus started for Zyphr, Maryland. This has been proven. Last summer, there was a vaping illness. Well, how the hell can people get a vaping illness if they don't vape? And nobody in their close circles does it either. Just saying, people, really, just saying. It started at the lab in Fort Detrick, Maryland. We already know this. That vaping illness was a test to see how people would react. Moving on. The Postal Service is in trouble because they may not have funding after June, which means there's going to be another wealth transfer coming for us. And again, we're going to be screwed. Now, the U.S. Surgeon General actually did something useful. He showed how to make a mask. Just a generic cloth mask out of a scarf, a cut towel, or t-shirt. He actually did something useful, believe it or not. Friday afternoon, the snake-in-law Jared Kushner made reference to a federal stockpile, saying that it was for the federal government, not states. So it's stockpiling when they do it, and it's hoarding when preppers buy extra stuff when finances allow over their lives. And we have a mental illness and hoarding. Again, bullshit. No. Now, let's talk about the last two articles. Taxing the rich. Hell yes. Absolutely. I came across two articles this week which address that very thing. President Putin, who is a multi-billionaire himself, said the rich must pay for coronavirus. Yeah. Seeing that he's smarter than most of our officials are, he would know that this would include him as well. He'd have to know it. The other article came about the super wealthy in Manhattan. One man called a company, a Canadian company, how do you like that, that makes ventilators. He wanted them to make one for him and his family privately. One lady wanted a tennis court built in her Hampton home because she's afraid of getting the coronavirus. Seriously. If they are that selfish, maybe getting taxed into reality wouldn't be a bad thing. I mean, hello. This is just utterly ridiculous. Now, I'm going to leave you the articles below. And I'm telling you, I hope you will go check them out. I don't even know what else to say at this point, people. I will see you later. And welcome to new subscribers.